The massive human battleship Iron Dawn drifted silently through the void between star systems. Captain Mark Harris stood on the bridge, watching the endless darkness through reinforced windows. His crew of 200 soldiers and engineers had been traveling for 8 months, returning from a successful mission to establish a new mining colony. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Amy Stone from her station, "we have an unknown ship approaching. It's single quotes S. different." Mark moved to her console. The radar showed a small vessel, unlike anything in their databases. Its design was smooth and curved, made from materials that seemed to bend light around them. After 5,000 years of human expansion across the galaxy, they had never encountered another intelligent species. "Hail them," Mark ordered. The communications officer, Tom West, worked his controls. "No response, sir, but they're slowing down. They seem to want to dock." The alien ship attached itself to their docking bay with surprising gentleness. Security Chief Lisa Gray prepared her team, weapons ready but not raised. The airlock cycled, and humanity held its breath. The creature that emerged was tall and thin, with 4 arms and skin that shimmered like oil. Its head was large and round, with 3 eyes arranged in a triangle. It wore no protective suit, suggesting it could breathe their atmosphere. "I am Kex," it spoke in perfect English, its voice like wind through metal. "I have traveled far to meet humans." Mark stepped forward, his hand resting on his sidearm. "I'm Captain Harris. How do you know our language?" "We have been watching, learning, waiting," Kex replied. "Your species fascinates us. You are the first we have encountered who build ships of war, yet also create beauty." The alien gestured toward a painting hanging in the corridor, a landscape from Earth that one of the crew had brought from home. Its 3 eyes seemed to study every detail. Dr. Rob Clark, the ship's scientist, approached carefully. "Where are you from? Are there others like you?" "Many others. We are called the Vel. We have traveled the stars for 10,000 of your years, seeking worthy companions." Kex moved with fluid grace, examining the ship's interior. "But always we find species that choose either creation or destruction, never both. What makes humans different?" Mark asked. Kex touched a bulkhead, feeling the metal. "This ship carries weapons that could destroy worlds. Yet your crew has photographs of families, books of poetry, music that makes the soul weep. You are warriors who dream of peace, builders who remember beauty." The alien spent hours touring the ship. It watched engineer Paul Kim repair a broken console with patient care. It listened to cook Mary Hill humming while she prepared meals. It observed medic John Reed treating a minor injury with gentle hands. "Your species creates bonds," Kex noted. "Even in war, you care for each other. This is rare." As the day cycle ended, Kex was given quarters in the guest section. The crew buzzed with excitement and nervousness. First contact protocols existed, in theory, but nobody had expected to use them. That night, Mark couldn't sleep. He walked the corridors, checking on his crew. Everyone was on edge, but trying to act normal. The weight of representing humanity pressed on his shoulders. He found Kex in the observation deck, staring out at the stars. "Do you sleep?" Mark asked. "Sometimes, but tonight, I think. Your species puzzles us. You fight wars, yet you sing lullabies. You build weapons, yet you plant gardens. How do you balance such opposites?" Mark joined him at the window. "Maybe that's what makes us human. We're not just one thing. We can be gentle and fierce, creative and destructive. It depends on what the situation needs." "Yes," Kex said softly. "This is why we chose to reveal ourselves to you first. Other species we have met are simpler. They follow one path. But humans walk many paths at once." The conversation continued deep into the night. Kex spoke of distant worlds and ancient civilizations. Mark shared stories of human history, both glorious and shameful. A bond began to form between them. As the ship's morning cycle began, crew members started their daily routines. Kex observed everything with those three unblinking eyes. It seemed particularly interested in how the humans interacted with each other. The casual jokes, the small acts of kindness, the way they worked together without needing orders. "Captain," Lieutenant Stone called over the intercom. "We're receiving a transmission from Fleet Command. They want a full report on our Gust." Mark looked at Kex, who nodded understanding. The real test was about to begin. How would humanity as a whole react to first contact? And more importantly, how would the mysterious Val judge them based on that reaction? Captain Harris stood in his private quarters, staring at the encoded message from Fleet Command. The words seemed to burn off the screen. "Capture alien specimen. Use any means necessary. Do not let it leave." His hands shook as he read it again. 3 days had passed since Kex arrived, and the alien had spent time with nearly every crew member. It helped Engineer Kim solve a power distribution problem. It listened to Cook Hill's stories about her grandmother's recipes. It even played a simple card game with some off-duty soldiers. A knock at his door interrupted his thoughts. "Come in." Kex entered, moving with that strange fluid grace. "Captain Harris, you seem troubled. The electromagnetic field around your body has changed." "You can read our emotions?" Mark asked, surprised. "To some degree. Your species produces energy patterns when feeling strong emotions. You are conflicted about something." Mark made a decision that would change everything. He turned his screen toward Kex and watched the alien read the message. Those three eyes blinked in sequence. Something he had learned meant deep thought. "Your leaders fear me," Kex said simply. "They don't understand. They think you might be a threat. And you? Do you believe I am dangerous?" Mark looked at this being who had spent hours teaching Medic Reed about advanced healing techniques, who had listened patiently to Engineer Park's complaints about faulty equipment, who had shown genuine sadness when looking at photos of Earth's polluted oceans. "No, but they don't know you like we do." Kex moved to the window, gazing out at the stars. "My people expected this reaction. When we first discovered your species, there was much debate. Some believed humans were too violent for contact. Others saw potential. What did you see?" "I saw a species that builds monuments to remember their wars, hoping never to repeat them. I saw people who cry at music and laugh at simple jokes. I saw warriors who adopt orphaned animals." Kex turned back to Mark. "But my people need proof that humans can be trusted on a larger scale." Mark felt the weight of responsibility crushing down on him. "What kind of proof?" "The choice you make now will tell us everything. Will you follow orders and try to capture me? Or will you choose what you believe is right?" Before Mark could answer, the ship's alarm began blaring. Lieutenant Stone's voice crackled over the intercom. "Captain, to the bridge immediately. We have 3 fleet ships approaching fast." On the bridge, the tactical display showed 3 heavy cruisers moving in formation toward them. Tom West looked up from his station, worried. "Sir, they're not responding to our communications. And they're charging weapons." Dr. Clark ran onto the bridge, breathless. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data from Kex's ship. The technology is incredible. Medical advances that could save millions of lives. Energy systems that could end resource wars. But if we try to take it by force, the ship will self-destruct," Kex finished calmly, having appeared behind them. "It is programmed to prevent technology theft." Security Chief Gray stepped forward. "Sir, I've got reports that some crew members are asking questions. Word is spreading that Fleet wants us to capture our guest." Mark looked around his bridge at faces he had served with for years. These people trusted him. They had followed him through dangerous missions and celebrated victories together. Now he had to choose between their loyalty and following orders. Mr. West, open a channel to the fleet ships. Channel open, sir. Fleet Command, this is Captain Harris aboard the Iron Dawn. I'm ordering you to stand down and return to base. The response came quickly. Captain Harris, you are relieved of command. Prepare to be boarded. Surrender the alien immediately. The bridge crew exchanged glances. Nobody moved to arrest their captain. Engineer Kim spoke up from his station. Sir, that alien helped me fix a problem that would have taken weeks to solve. Saved us from potential engine failure. Cook Hill's voice came over the intercom. Captain, that nice fellow Kex helped me plan meals that would be healthier for the crew. Even asked about food allergies. More voices joined in. Medic Raid reported on medical knowledge shared. Maintenance Chief Blake talked about improved repair techniques. Slowly, the entire crew made their choice clear. Lieutenant Stone looked at her captain with determination. Orders, sir? Mark felt a moment of perfect clarity. This was what Kex had been testing all along. Not whether humans could be peaceful, but whether they could choose what was right over what was easy. Mr. West, send a message to Kex's people. Tell them we're honored by their visit, and we'd like to continue diplomatic relations. And the fleet ships? Stone asked. Mark smiled grimly. Tell them the alien disappeared. We're searching, but no luck so far. Kex's three eyes blinked in that thoughtful sequence. An interesting choice, Captain. The three fleet ships surrounded the Iron Dawn like wolves circling prey. Admiral Kane's voice boomed through the communication system, sharp with authority and barely controlled anger. Captain Harris, you have 30 minutes to produce the alien, or we will board your ship and take it by force. Mark stood on his bridge, surrounded by his loyal crew. Every person at their station had made the same choice he had, to protect their guest rather than follow orders that felt wrong in their bones. Dr. Clark, how long until Kex's ship can undock safely? Mark asked quietly. The alien technology is still interfacing with our systems. Kex says it needs another hour to avoid damaging both vessels. An hour they didn't have. Captain, Engineer Kim called from his station. I might have an idea. The asteroid field we passed through yesterday, it's only 20 minutes away at full speed. The broken belt, Lieutenant Stone nodded, understanding immediately. Thousands of rocks, some as big as our ship. Perfect for hiding. Mark looked at Kex, who had remained calm throughout the crisis. Can your people track you if we lose communication? They know my approximate location. But my safety is less important than what happens here today. Kex paused, those three eyes studying the human crew. Your people are deciding what kind of species you will become. The truth of those words hit everyone on the bridge. This wasn't just about one alien visitor. It was about humanity's first step into a larger universe. Mr. West, patch me through to the fleet ships on an open channel. Channel open, sir. Mark took a deep breath. Admiral Kane, I want every ship in your task force to hear this. The being aboard my ship came in peace. It has shared medical knowledge that could save millions of lives. It has shown us technology that could solve our energy problems. And your response is to capture it like some laboratory animal? Captain Harris, that alien represents the greatest intelligence opportunity in human history. We need to study it, understand its technology, learn about its people. By force? By betraying a peaceful first contact? Mark's voice grew stronger. I've read the same history books you have, Admiral. Every time a stronger civilization has studied a weaker one, it ended in domination and destruction. Murmurs of agreement came from his crew. These were military people who understood duty, but they also understood right and wrong. Cook Hill's voice came over the intercom. "Admiral Kane, sir, that alien taught me how to make food that could help people with genetic disorders. Just gave the knowledge away, expecting nothing in return." Medic Reed added his voice. "The healing techniques Kex showed me could revolutionize trauma care. This being came to help us." One by one, crew members spoke up. Engineer Park talked about solutions to environmental problems. Security Chief Gray mentioned defensive technologies that could protect colonies without harming attackers. Each testimony painted a picture of a benevolent visitor sharing gifts freely. Admiral Kane's response was cold. "Emotional appeals will not change orders." "You have 15 minutes. Mark made his decision. "All hands, prepare for emergency acceleration. Engineering, give me everything the engines have." "Sir," Lieutenant Stone said quietly, "they'll court-martial you for this." "Maybe, but I'd rather face a court-martial than explain to my children why I helped humanity make its first impression in the galaxy by kidnapping a peaceful ambassador." The Iron Dawn suddenly lurched forward, engines screaming as they pushed toward maximum speed. The 3 fleet ships immediately gave chase, their weapon systems targeting non-critical areas. "They're trying to disable our engines," reported Tom West. "Can we make it to the asteroid field?" Mark asked. Engineer Kim worked frantically at his console. "It's going to be close, Captain. Really close." Kex moved to stand beside Mark. "It's—" Forearms folded in what might have been a gesture of respect. "Captain, my people are watching this encounter very carefully. They have ships positioned throughout this system. Are they going to intervene? Only if necessary. This test must be completed by humans alone." Kex's voice carried a note of something. "That might have been hope. But know that your crew's actions today will be remembered. Stories of their courage will be told among the Vel for generations." The ship shook as weapons fire from the pursuing vessels struck their rear shields. Sparks flew from overloaded consoles, and the lights flickered ominously. "Asteroid field in 5 minutes," Stone reported. "Can the fleet ships track us once we're inside?" Mark asked. Dr. Clark looked up from his readings. "The field is dense, with metallic ore. It should interfere with their sensors, but it'll also make navigation extremely dangerous for us." Mark smiled grimly. "Then we'd better hope our helmsman is as good as she claims to be." Lieutenant Stone grinned back. "Sir, I can thread a needle in a hurricane." The asteroid field loomed ahead, a maze of tumbling rocks and hidden dangers. Behind them, the fleet ships closed in, weapons charged and ready. The Iron Dawn plunged into the asteroid field like a whale diving into dark waters. Lieutenant Stone's hands flew over the navigation controls, threading the massive battleship between tumbling rocks the size of buildings. Behind them, the 3 fleet ships hesitated at the field's edge. "They're not following," reported Tom West, relief evident in his voice. "Admiral Kane is too smart to risk 3 ships in here," Mark said, "but he'll wait us out. We can't hide forever." The ship shuddered as Stone executed a sharp turn around a particularly large asteroid, its surface scarred with impact craters from millions of years of cosmic bombardment. The lights on the bridge flickered as power was diverted to the navigation systems. Kex stood perfectly still, despite the violent maneuvering, its 3 eyes watching the view screen with apparent fascination. "Your pilot has exceptional skill." "Thank you," Stone replied, not taking her eyes off her instruments. "Though I'd prefer to test my skills in less life-threatening situations." Dr. Clark looked up from his console, excitement overriding his fear. "Captain, I'm getting some unusual readings from these asteroids. The mineral composition is unlike anything in our databases. Can we use that to our advantage?" Mark asked. Engineer Kim joined the conversation from his station. "Possibly. If the ore interferes with sensors, we might be able to use it to mask our emissions. Make us effectively invisible. Do it, Mark ordered. Whatever you need. As the crew worked to implement their hiding strategy, Kex approached the captain privately. There is something I must tell you. My people's ships are not the only ones watching this encounter. Mark felt a chill run down his spine. What do you mean? Vel are part of a larger community, what you might call a galactic council. When we decided to make contact with humans, others wanted to observe. Some are less optimistic about your species' potential. Are we in danger? Not immediately. But if this encounter ends badly, if your fleet captures me, or if shooting begins, those observers might decide humans are too dangerous to be allowed into the broader galactic community. The implications hit Mark like a physical blow. What would that mean? Isolation. Your species would be quarantined to your current territory. No trade, no knowledge sharing, no expansion beyond your present borders. Kex's voice carried deep sadness. It would be a gentle cage, but a cage nonetheless. Before Mark could respond, alarms began blaring throughout the ship. Security Chief Gray's voice came over the intercom. Captain, we have armed shuttles from the fleet ships entering the asteroid field. They're searching for us. On the main screen, dozens of small craft weaved between the asteroids, their searchlights, cutting through the darkness like predatory eyes. Each shuttle carried a squad of Marines equipped for boarding operations. They're being more aggressive than I expected, Mark muttered. Kane must be under tremendous pressure from Earth Command. Lieutenant Stone worked her controls frantically, using the larger asteroids as cover while the shuttles spread out in a search pattern. Sir, there are too many of them. Eventually, they're going to find us. Engineer Kim looked up from his console with a grim expression. Captain, I have an idea, but you're not going to like it. We could create a controlled overload in one of the asteroid mining charges. Make it look like we were destroyed in an accident? Fake our deaths? Mark considered the option. That might work, but what then? We can't hide forever. Actually, Dr. Clark interjected, there might be another option. I've been analyzing the sensor data from this field. There's a large asteroid about 10 kilometers from here that's essentially hollow, probably mined out by some ancient civilization. Kex's 3 eyes suddenly focused intently on the scientist. Describe this hollow asteroid. Clark brought up the sensor readings. It's roughly spherical, about 2 kilometers in diameter. The interior shows signs of artificial construction, chambers, corridors, even what might be docking bays. You have found a way station, Kex said quietly. My people built thousands of them across the galaxy long ago. Places where ships could hide, repair, and resupply during dangerous journeys. Is it still functional? Mark asked. If it follows? Standard Vel design? Yes. The systems are designed to last for millennia. Kex moved to the navigation console. With your permission, I can guide us there. Mark looked around his bridge at the faces of his crew. They had already risked everything by choosing to protect their alien guest. Now they were being asked to trust that same alien to lead them into an unknown alien facility. Cook Hill's voice came over the intercom again. Captain, I just wanted you to know, whatever you decide, the whole crew is behind you. Kex has been nothing but helpful and kind. We don't abandon friends. Similar voices echoed throughout the ship. Engineer Park, Medic Reed, Maintenance Chief Blake, all expressing the same sentiment. They had made their choice, and they would. Stick with it. Mr. Kex, Mark said formally, please take us to your way station. As they changed course toward the hollow asteroid, none of them noticed the small, sleek ships that had been watching from the shadow of the field's largest rock formation. Ships that belonged to neither humans nor the peaceful Vel. The hollow asteroid loomed before them, its surface pocked with ancient docking ports that glowed with soft blue light as they approached. Kex had activated the waystation systems with a complex series of tones that seemed to resonate through the ship's hull itself. "Docking Bay 7 is opening for us," Lieutenant Stone reported, awe evident in her voice as they watched massive doors slide apart, revealing a cavernous space filled with breathable atmosphere. "How is this possible?" Dr. Clark whispered, watching his instruments register normal air pressure and temperature inside the asteroid. "This station has been here for thousands of years, yet it's perfectly maintained. Vel technology is designed to last," Kex replied simply. "We learned long ago that the galaxy is vast and dangerous. Safe havens must endure." As the Iron Dawn settled into the docking bay, the crew could see other empty berths designed for ships of various sizes and configurations. Some were clearly meant for vessels much larger than their battleship, while others seemed designed for craft no bigger than shuttles. "Captain," Security Chief Gray called from her station, "those fleet shuttles have lost our trail. They're expanding their search pattern, but they're moving away from our position." Mark felt some of the tension leave his shoulders. "Good. That gives us time to figure out our next move." Engineer Kim was studying the power readings from the station. "Sir, this place is generating more energy than our ship uses at full capacity. The technology here is incredible." "My people would like to share such knowledge," Kex said. "But first, we must know if humans can be trusted with it." As they explored the ancient way station, the crew discovered wonders beyond their imagination. Medical bays with healing technologies that could repair injuries in minutes. Engineering sections where matter could be manipulated at the molecular level. Communication arrays that could send messages across the galaxy instantaneously. But it was in the station's central chamber that they found the real surprise. A dozen beings from different species were waiting for them, the galactic observers. Kex had mentioned. They varied dramatically in size and shape, some humanoid, others resembling plants or geometric constructs. All watched the humans with intense curiosity. "Representatives of the Galactic Council," Kex explained. "They have come to witness humanity's first test." A being that looked like living crystal spoke in a voice like wind chimes. "We have observed your conflict with your own fleet. Your choice to protect a peaceful visitor speaks well of your species' potential." Mark stepped forward, feeling the weight of representing all humanity. "We're honored by your presence. Our actions weren't driven by politics or strategy. They were simply the right thing to do." "Yet your leaders would have acted differently," observed another creature, this one resembling a tree made of silver metal. "How do we judge a species when its representatives disagree so fundamentally?" Before Mark could answer, alarms began sounding throughout the way station. On the central displays, they could see Admiral Kane's 3 ships approaching the asteroid, weapons charged. "They found us," Tom West reported grimly. The crystal being's voice took on an urgent tone. "Admiral Kane has been in communication with Earth Command. They have issued an ultimatum. Surrender the alien or face charges of treason and mutiny." "There's more," added the tree-like observer. "Your government has decided that contact with alien species requires military oversight. They are dispatching a battle fleet to secure the situation." Mark felt his heart sink. This was exactly what Kex had warned about, humanity's first impression. In the galactic community would be one of aggressive militarism. But then Cook Hill's voice came over the intercom. "Captain, I've been talking with some of the other species here. They want to try my grandmother's soup recipe. Seems food is a universal language." Similar reports came in from throughout the ship. Engineer Kim was working with alien technicians to improve the station's systems. Dr. Clark was learning about medical advances that could help billions. Even Security Chief Gray was comparing defensive strategies with a species that looked like animated armor. The galactic observers were taking note of everything. "Fascinating," murmured the crystal being. "Your crew continues to choose cooperation over conflict, even under pressure." Outside, Admiral Kane's voice boomed across all frequencies. "Captain Harris, you have 1 hour to surrender the alien and submit to arrest. After that, we will use force." Mark looked at Kex, then at the assembled aliens, then at his own crew. "What happens if we refuse?" The tree-like observer rustled its metallic leaves. "That depends on your people's choice in the next hour. Will they support your actions, or will they demand your surrender?" As if in answer, the communication array lit up with incoming messages from across human space. News of the first alien contact had leaked, and the response was pouring in from colonies, ships, and stations throughout the galaxy. The test was no longer just about one crew's choice. It was about what kind of species humanity would choose to become, and the observers were watching everything.